everyone. Welcome again here at the live show in the evening. For me, my name is Maurice Zondag and I'm in the Netherlands. So this is the Zondag's weekday late show because it's 11 o'clock, people. Yeah, it is late already. But I'm not sure where you're watching this and when you're watching this. But if you're watching this live, I'm so cool you're here. This show is all about personal development. So we're going to dive right in the topic of today. And that is going to be very, very interesting. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. If you're watching this live, please let me know. Yeah, I got to click over there. Give me hashtag live or watching in the replay, of course, hashtag replay. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can also subscribe, of course, to the channel. If you want more of these videos, I'll do this on the weekday. So every day I'll have a video here live for you guys on personal development stuff. And personal development is one of my biggest passions, right? It's something we can never do. I mean, if we don't grow, we're dead, right? In nature, that's just the basic rule. If it doesn't grow, it's dead. So be sure you put your sound on. I hope you already did that, of course. Otherwise, you wouldn't hear me. But yeah, let's go on this today. So. For today, we're going to talk about the lies we are telling ourselves. People, we are all telling ourselves lies all the day, all day long. And the funny thing is, we do that for a reason, right? We tell ourselves lies for a reason. Now, if you're watching this live, welcome. Thanks for being here at the show. My name is Maurice. And you can also comment, of course. If you have any questions or whatever it is, fill it out in the comments. And if you're watching this live, I'll see them popping up here and I'll show them to the public as well, so we can really add on to the show. So please do that if you like. And otherwise, just if you do it afterwards when you're watching this, I'll check it because I'll get a notification, right? And I'll answer you right away afterwards. So the lies. Now that was not a lie. I'm actually going to do that. So don't worry about that. But yeah, we think a lot. All day long, we are having this inner dialogue, especially when we're so much alone these days, right? Sitting in our homes, in our home offices, or at the kitchen table working, or whatever you're doing, and wherever you are. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't even matter how many people you have around you, because we have around 60,000 thoughts a day. 60,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot, guys, right? I mean, that's quite a lot. So it's something we do a lot, and most of those thoughts are actually lies. Now, there's been a study on how that works, right? Why do we tell ourselves lies, and how come they are even lies, right? I mean, what? I'm not lying to myself. I'm being honest with myself. I'm being hard maybe on myself, but I'm being honest, right? I'm not telling lies to myself. Well, if you're not, you should. And I'll explain later. And also what we're going to do today, later at the end of the show, I'm going to give you a guided meditation. Yes, just for a couple of minutes to guide you through how to use these lies and tell the stories about these lies so it can actually help you. Because that is what they do, Lies actually help us. They help us create a reality for ourselves. And we do that all the time, right? Whatever opinion you have, you are basing your opinion based on what you're experiencing, what you're seeing at the moment, what you're hearing or smelling or sensing or whatever it is, but also depending on your past, right? A lot of things we have in our past, we take up to the moment we are right now. And a lot of people also think that their past determines their future, which is not quite the case, because the future is being determined by the things that you do today, the decisions you make today. So in a way, it is about the things that you did in the past, because a lot of things you did in the past affect the things that you are doing today, right? So it makes sense that it is part of your future. But if you choose not to, that's an opportunity, right? That's a decision. You can do that for yourself. So we talk a lot to ourselves. And when we talk to ourselves, we talk about how we should do things, or how we should not do things, or why we do things, or how we do things. There's so many things we're thinking about that we are kind of creating this story in our head. And all these stories that we tell ourselves are creating the reality that we're seeing for ourselves. Because it makes sense, right? I mean, if we wouldn't do that, we all would have the same reality, right? We all would have the same truth. Well, there is no truth. There's just the story that we're telling ourselves, right? That's the things that's the truth. We make it our truth. But it doesn't mean that it is actually the truth, right? It's just depending on the things that we observe and observe, right? That we create for ourselves in a story. So when you're thinking about your day, how your day was, you're creating it as a story. Heck, even in our sleep, we create stories, right? And we call them dreams. But a dream is never factual, right? It's never about the facts like being listed out like, okay, these are the facts. No, it's about the story you create for yourself. And we've got some crazy stories in our dreams, right? So that's even more funny because if you have all these stories in your dreams, I mean, you can do anything in your dreams, right? We have the wildest fantasies in our dreams, either good or bad or whatever the dream is. It is a story, and we all love stories. Now, let me tell you a little story here. The first time I realized it was that stories work. It was a winter evening, and we were actually preparing for a play. I was about 6 years old. Yes, 6 years. Little Maurice, right? And I've always loved acting. I've been an actor for since my 6th year, so that's 41 years already, right? And my first role that I played was Joseph. Right. It was a cold winter night, and I played Joseph. And my beautiful wife Maria just had this cute little baby. But we were poor, and we were traveling to a big city, right? Because we had to. And when we were going there, we didn't had any money because I was just a timberman, right? I just did some work with my hands. I had a, craft job, and it didn't pay well. And when I was there with my wife traveling, we didn't find a place to sleep, and no hotel, no bed and breakfast, no Airbnb wanted to take us in, right? No, we had this little shelter, and it was more like a stable than a shelter actually. So we were sitting there in the hay with next to our the donkey and the chickens and the pigs and and all these animals around us, and we were laying there, and we just got that child there, right? So that was like crazy. But when I realized that I was being in this story, right, this beautiful story that we all know, and so many people of us are still celebrating it once a year, right? I realized that with this story, all of a sudden, all the people that were sitting out there and watching us playing that theater play, right? That play of the Christmas story, they were all in awe. They were all in awe. They were like, ah, pretty much what, like, really like, ah, look at those kids, right? Playing this role of this little Joseph and this little Maria. And it it really struck me all right then that this is powerful. I like this. It's a way that I can connect to these people. Now years passed by, and I went on. I did a lot of acting, and I did a lot of public speaking and things like that. And I started to study the whole storytelling phenomenon. Right? Why is it so powerful? Well, it is so powerful because we can relate and we want to connect. Right? Those are two main ingredients that human beings have. We want to connect and we want to relate. And when you hear a story, you can actually picture it in your mind. You can make it your own imagination. I bet you had a very clear picture in your mind of the little Maurice being a Joseph and his little Maria there, right? In what way they looked, it's your story. It's your vision. It's your way of looking at it, and you actually start making it lively, and you make it real, right? You don't even know if this story was real. Well, it was real, but you don't know that, but you still make it real for yourself. So we love the story so we can understand what's happening, and we can always almost understand the deeper messaging in there, right? So storytelling is a very powerful tool to get your message across, and whatever message that is, right? Because once you create it as a lively situation and make it real in your head, even like seeing it in your head, right? It becomes true. It it starts to exist, right? It starts to being real. So you actually are making the story into something that is a lively event that's actually being happened there. And therefore, we are telling ourselves these lies in our own truth, right? In our own stories, so they can be true. So you can start believing it. So it can support you in the decision that you make. So it can support you in the life that you're living. Everything that you're doing is based all around that. And later on, when I studied this powerful tool of storytelling, I saw this great interview with this guy. I forgot his name, but he is the founder of the TED conferences, right? You know who he is. At least you know the TED conference, right? From TED.com, all the TED talks and the TEDx talks. And when I saw this interview with this guy, he told about how the power of a story works, because you have an idea. The speaker has an idea, right? And his goal is to get his idea into the minds of the audience. And that was so amazing. That was such an epiphany that and of course, being on a TED podium was one of my major goals that I had in my life, right? So you can imagine how cool it actually was that I actually were able to be on a TEDx stage and have a real TED talk, and be one of the few people in the world that actually have a TED talk. So that's the story I was telling myself as well, right? It's my truth that I value having a TED talk, right? And a lot of people see TED talks as a podium for their authority, right? But that's just the story we've been creating. That's the story TED has been creating, and therefore you see that it is true, right? The truth of a story becomes real because we start believing in it. And what the beauty of it is when you take it even a step further and not only say, okay, so the idea that I'm planting from my mind into your mind when you're watching this, it's not only that I've created a story in your mind and bringing my message across to you, but it becomes now your story, and you can do with that story whatever you like. So whatever idea that I have that I can bring across to you, it's a gift for you that you can receive and then start working with your capacity, with your brain, with your memories, with your experience, with everything that you know, and you can model that story into something that you know, right? Just like I just did with the story of this man from TED itself. He told me his idea, and I worked with that idea, and I expanded it to this new idea. So that's the beauty of the storytelling, and why it is so important. And the reason that it helps you is because it becomes your reality, right? And every day we encounter so many things. We make so many decisions in a day. We make small decisions like what clothes to wear, or what to eat. But in our daily work, we make thousands of decisions every day. When to start writing an email? What do you write in the email? When do you post on Facebook or Instagram? Right? What do you post? Is this a good moment to take a picture or a selfie and post that on the social? There's so many decisions we're making every day, and with every of these decisions, you're telling yourself the lies that actually proves that you're right. Right? So you are right to take this picture because and believe me, it was the best moment of the day to take that selfie and to post it online, and get all the likes and the hearts from your fans, from your followers. Of course it was, because you decided that was the best moment. So you need confirmation for yourself to actually get that to being the best moment that there is. So That's the power of a story, right? And it's so cool if you jump in later on. We're talking about storytelling and why lies are so important for us. And we actually start telling these lies to ourselves to start feeling good. So telling the lies, or telling, let's call it just the stories, if you're telling you the stories that you want to believe, that will make you feel better. And it's a phenomenon that's happening every day, all day long, and it has been for all your life. Because whatever decision that you've been making, and you start wondering, was that the best decision? You start coming up with reasons why that was the best decision, right? And even though someone's pointing you out and say, well, that was a stupid decision that you made, you say, well, yeah, maybe from your point of view, but I was doing it because, and then comes the reason, then comes the story. It tells the story that you want to bring, right? It tells you the story why you made the decision. And therefore, proving yourself mostly, but sometimes others as well, proving that that was the best decision you could take because of the story. And that is one of the most intriguing things about us human beings, right? That we can create the stories in any situation, and it doesn't matter what it is, but you can actually create the stories that will help you found your, like, being a foundation of your decision making. And the better you're at making these stories, the better decision making you're gonna the better decisions you're gonna make, or the more decisions you're gonna take, right? So if you're insecure about making decisions, it's a very good tool to learn how to tell the stories and to understand why you want to do the things, right? It starts with the why, like Simon Sinek says. So all things happens with a story in mind, and it doesn't matter why that is. I mean, why am I wearing a black shirt, right? That's because I'm telling myself the story that black is a cool color and it's looking good on me, right? Why am I wearing a t-shirt? It's middle of the winter, or not winter, but it's like it's not summer anymore. Why am I wearing still a t-shirt? Because I'm telling myself the story that if I wear a sweater, it's too warm, right? Now, is it true or is it not true? Well, if it's not true, I shouldn't make that decision and I should put on a sweater, right? So, of course, it's true. So, telling the lies that you've been telling yourself is helping you making better decisions. That's pretty much what it's all is about. So that's actually what I wanted to share with you today, and understanding on how to create these stories. We're going to do this little exercise, and I want to point this really out to a certain moment in time. And if you want to listen to this later on, I'll just maybe put on, let's put it on YouTube as well. I'll put on YouTube a separate video with just the meditation there, right? That you can just listen to that one and don't have to listen to all the things that we've talked about right now before. So for this meditation, if you don't have any music for the video that I'm going to put there out online on YouTube, I'll put some nice, relaxing meditational music at the background. But for now, I want you to, if you're watching this on your phone or watching this on your computer, doesn't matter, just put on some very relaxing, comforting music that will put you in a downward state, right? That would make you more like a relaxing state. And when you are sitting there, and this is actually where the meditation starts. So if you're driving now, don't watch this, right? Cut it up right now and just stop listening, because I don't want you to do the next couple of things. So if you're just sitting comfortably somewhere, just make sure you're sitting up straight and feet on the ground, bust off, or maybe you lay down. That's also possible. And if you lay down, you can close your eyes. And if you close your eyes, I'd like to ask you to start monitoring and watching your breathing. When you breathe in through your nose, and you breathe out through your mouth. You breathe in from your nose, and you breathe out by your mouth. Breathe in through your nose and out on your mouth. And you feel starting more relaxing, and every muscle in your body is relaxing as well. And you start to wander, and your thoughts may wander left or right, and that's okay. Just keep listening to my voice while I guide you through this relaxing state of mind. And with this relaxing state of mind, your thoughts can go anywhere. And you may let them go anywhere they want. It doesn't really matter where they go. Just be mindful that you're still there, sitting or laying on your bed. Let your thoughts just go and focus back on your breathing. Your thoughts are there and they're okay. It doesn't matter what thoughts you are having, just focus again on your breathing. Just your regular, relaxing breathing. Now, many times of a day, any time of the day, when you're having thoughts, good thoughts or not so good thoughts, they are the stories you're telling yourself. And whatever the story is you're telling yourself, it's okay. Because we know that the story supports our thoughts and they will help you guide you to the difficult decisions you've got to make. And especially if you're in a tough situation where there are things going on in your life now that need a decision, in what way that is, it's all good. Now focus back on your breathing, relaxing, and know that it's all good. And try to see the thoughts. You have the thoughts. They're there. They're floating by, going from left to right, or from left to right, or right to left, or up and down. But try to visualize them. See the thoughts and see the story around the thought. And what does the story try to tell you? Listen and watch the view of the story and see what they're doing for you and how they tell that story. And how the story will create the thoughts and make them even bigger. The thoughts will get more intense. And so what you see and how the story goes also gets more intense. And that's okay. Know that you're safe and sound right here, right now. There's no past, there's no future, there's just now. Watch what's going on in your mind. See the stories unfold. Now also think what you could change in the story if you like. What one thing would you like to change in that story? How would it change your story? How would it change your thought? If you're having a bad thought, if you're having a thought that isn't pleasing, that's maybe even scaring you, what thing could you change so it's less scaring you or it's less threatening? What one thing can you change so you can change the thought into a more happy feeling, a more pleasant feeling? We worry a lot about the things we need to do in the future, but the future is not here. It's just the now. And the thought is just an idea. It's just a thought, just a story. What thing can you change? What one thing can you change to make it even more positive, more happy? And what thought will give you more energy that will actually make the story a better story? So it will actually start helping you. Let the go, let go. The story just goes on, and the thought may also just go on, and that's all right. You're sitting there in your chair or laying on your bed, breathing, sitting, lying. And once you focus again on your breath, I want you to thank the thought that you had. Accept it that it is as it is. But also know that you can alter the thought, that you can change one thing or two things or a couple of things or change the thought at all. So you can make it to a different story and therefore have a different thought. And when we have different thoughts, we can actually start feeling different, more happy, more pleasant, more positive. And just experience that feeling. Now, slowly focus again on your breathing, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. And start slowly wiggle your fingers and your toes. Feel the bed on the back of your back. Feel the chair that you're sitting in, the floor your feet are touching. And slowly get back to where you're at right now. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And when you open your eyes, start stretching out as far as you can be, as you can go. And feel the energy that you've just created for yourself flowing through your body, just like that. And know that you are in control of your thoughts by changing the stories. Well, my dear friends, how was that? It was a little experiment here to do this at the live video. I'm not sure how that worked for you. I gotta have to see the result, right? But if I am happy with the result, I'll definitely put it out there online on YouTube. Just go to the channel of Maurice. No, not my personal channel. Go to masteryourpersonality.com or the channel of Master Your Personality on YouTube, and you can watch the video over there. So thank you so much for being here today. It was awesome that you guys were here. Thank you so much. Thanks for the hearts and the likes that you all have been giving. And I love you guys. I hope you stay healthy, take care of each other. And remember, it's the weekday show. So tomorrow there's another Zondags weekday late night show. And I'll see you right then here, same time, same place. Bye bye. Now it says it's ending the show. Yeah, there it goes. All right. I'm not sure what's happening, but it's not closing up. So I just have to keep talking, right? There seems to be trouble with the internet connection, which is weird because I'm live. So how is this a trouble with the connection? But my streaming software is just like not working with me here. So end broadcast. Let's see what's happening here. Am I still live? I'm not sure. Let's watch this. I should be able to see myself then, right? On my phone. Hold on. Let's see what's happening over here. This video is now live. Yeah, it's still saying I'm live. So that's interesting. I'm actually able to see myself here. This video is now live. Yeah. All right. So, what you guys have been up to. I'm just trying to cut it off, and it could be like disconnected in just a second. I don't know, but I don't want to just hard. I mean, like physically break it, right? Like disconnecting the page. That's crazy. But yeah, interesting. Not sure what's happening here. So let's just go here. Not yet. I'll just click around a bit over here. Well, you still can give me a like, of course, if you're watching this live, and if you're watching this there. And